Chrissy.
And I'm Miranda.
And we are from the Chattanooga Public Library. And today, for our creative play activity, we will be making shadow puppet theaters. So Miranda is going to lead the program, and I'm going to do it. So we're going to go over the supplies and the instructions, and then by the end, you'll have an awesome shadow puppet theater to play with all summer long. Sound good?
Okay, so the supplies that you will need to make your puppet theater are going to be a cardboard box or a shoebox if you have one laying around. You're going to need scissors. You will want either felt or fabric to make your curtains for your theater. Miss Chrissy is using golden fabric. You were going to want some pencils to help you outline your shapes, or possibly a Sharpie. You are going to want white tissue paper to help make your the front side of your theater for your audience. You are going to want either popsicle sticks or coffee stirrers like Miss Chrissy has, or even toothpicks to hold up your puppets. You are going to want hot glue to help you glue together parts of your theater or just your puppets to make them stick to their popsicle stick or coffee stirrer. And you were going to want a light source. So you could use a phone flashlight like Miss Chrissy has. You could use an old school flashlight like I have. Even a lamp that you just want to direct at your theater. Up to you. Oh, you are also going to want some tape, preferably masking tape as it works well on cardboard. This will be used to strengthen theater and again also stick your puppets together.
Perfect. So it looks like I have all of my supplies, so I'm ready to go.
Okay, so to start out, you're going to want to use your cardboard box. Chrissy has a shoebox, and so she's taken off the lid, so that will be the front side of her theater, and she's going to need to cut off the back side to allow for her shadow puppet. I used just a normal cardboard box. What I did was I cut off one side of it, okay, and to stabilize it, I just folded in these flaps, and that helped make it strong. Miss Chrissy doesn't have those kinds of flaps on her box, so she's probably going to use tape to make it strong.
Okay, how big does the opening need to be?
Honestly, it can be the length of your entire box, okay, to give room for your curtains and for your hand movement when you do the puppets on the inside. So I would suggest cutting all the way around the edges.
Okay. I'm going to be very careful with this portion. And I'm wondering, I have an X-Acto knife. Do you think that I could maybe like score it?
Yes, I think you could, but again, if you're doing this at home, be very, very careful with your X-Acto knives and scissors.
And it doesn't have to be perfect, correct?
No, it does not. Yay! Oh.
Okay, so to reinforce it, I should go around the edges with tape?
Yes, we want the box to be strong and sturdy, so when we put our other elements of decoration and our white tissue paper, that it doesn't wobble and fall over.
So I don't have masking tape, so I'm going to try it with just some big Scotch tape. We'll see what happens.
To point out, Miss Chrissy is now taping up the edges to make them extra strong.
Are there any edges that need to be stronger than the others, or just all the same?
I would say both front and back, because on the back side, you're going to have to be using your puppets and a flashlight. And on the front, you want your white tissue paper to stay taut, to stay strong. And so we're going to have to tape more stuff on the front of it. So it's really all got to be pretty sturdy.
Okay. All right. So this might take a little bit of time, but it's worth it. Okay. Miranda, I noticed that you have a special guest helping you today.
Yes, it is my needy puppy who could not handle not getting attention for 5 minutes. So
that's okay. I support it. All right, so what's our next
So
instruction?
next, if you feel like you need to add more tape to the inside of the box, go ahead and do it. But we are now going to find a sheet of white tissue paper and we're going to add it to the front of our theater. If you want to try to do this on the inside of the box, if you want to tape that tissue paper to the inside and leave your outside plain for other decoration, you can do that. If you want to just tape it all over the outside, you're free to do that too.
Okay. And just one sheet, right?
Yes. I did fiddle with this to try to see what was best. If you use 2 sheets of tissue paper, it will not make as nice of a shadow as you want. So I would do only 1 layer of white tissue paper.
All right. I feel like I'm wrapping a present right now.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
All right. What's next?
So now you have finally completed the side that your audience will see. Yay. Okay, so at this point, I think if you want to decorate your theater, this is when we're going to do it. So if you want to make some curtains for the front of your box, you should do that. Any drawings, artsiness on the outside, go for it. Go crazy. So I see the hot glue is doing a pretty good job of picking up that fabric.
Yes. So if you use hot glue, at home, just make sure that your parents are okay with you using it, or ask your parents for help, because hot glue is in fact very, very hot. I've got my curtains. They're not perfect, but they'll do.
I like them. Alrighty. So the next step, once you have your curtain up or any other decorations you want to have, is that you are going to make some shadow puppets. So for this part, you are going to cut out some basic puppet outlines from your cardstock or your cardboard, remembering that your audience is only going to see the shadow they cast, okay? So with that in mind, keep it simple. Don't get too complicated with it. Just imagine as you cut and design what kind of shadow your audience will see.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to come up with some fun ones. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna use my pencil to draw some first. What kind of things do I want?
That is true. I think it's good to know what sort of a play you want to put on. So Miss Chrissy is beginning her outline with a pencil on her paper so that she can kind of envision what she'll be showing in her theater.
I'm guessing I cut these out next.
Mm-hmm.
And since the shadow is the only thing showing, I guess you could just you could cut out some shapes and then tape them together, create.
Yes. Yeah, your audience will not know how messy your puppet was at first. They will only see the outline, which is
all right.
When I attempted to make a sun, if you see here, it is messy, okay? But my audience only sees a spiky ball of fire in the sky.
That's funny because that's exactly what I was going to do next, was a sun. And I was like, how can I make this not as hard? I guess I could do like rays all the same.
Yeah, I think that's a better plan because again, like I made my sun pretty spiky like that. And when I tried to put it on a puppet show, my husband said it just looked like a spiky ball. So I think rays might work better in shadow form.
We'll see.
For lighter material like cardstock, you could just use tape. But for heavier material like cardboard that I used, I chose hot glue because it held things together much easier than card might on heavier, puppet stuff.
I know that masking tape works really well on cardboard. That's what we use when we do cardboard crafts at the library, but yeah. I'm a big fan of hot glue.
So if you are using cardboard for your puppets, you can either use masking tape, as it's super great, or hot glue, because that will hold together heavy things.
Okay, so I could go on and on making shapes, but why don't we go ahead and go on with the next instruction, and then I can spend some time making other shapes later.
Okay, so quickly, when you are making your puppets, I would make sure that you tape your stick on there that will help you to hold it up in front of your theater. You may to glue 2 different sticks together to make it longer so you don't see your hand in the shadow when you act out your scene. So, yeah, anyway.
Okay, so let me go ahead and tape mine down. I've got pretty long, I'm actually using coffee stir sticks.
Yeah.
So
anything skinny that won't cast too much of a shadow will work just fine. So when you have your theater put together and your puppets ready to go, you are going to be able to put on a show. For an extra challenge, you can try using a scene writing template to kind of put together a little scene for your play, and maybe even try basing your play on your favorite story. Make sure that you have some light source to put your play on with. Some people use their cell phone flashlight, some people use an actual flashlight. It's really up to you. You can kind of play with where you want your light coming from as you do your show, whatever looks best. Other additions, Miss Chrissy?
well, what I was thinking is that I'm going to kind of play around with mine and record it. And then at the end, I'll show my recorded play, and I might even put some theater facts in there as well.
I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe even animated theater facts.
Cool.
Shadow puppet. Perfect. I'm so excited to try this out. So whenever you're doing the shadow puppet, does it need to be dark? Will that help amplify?
I definitely do think that will help. I have done it in kind of a dimly lit room because really the strength of your flashlight might decide what people can see and what won't. But if you want a really, really high contrast, visible puppet show, I would go with the dark room.
All right, then that's definitely what I'm going to try out. Perfect. Well, I am so excited to try this out. And thank you, Miranda, for teaching me how to make a shadow puppet theater. And thank you guys for watching. And we are so excited to see all your shadow puppets. So make sure to take a picture or a short video and tag us on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you. Bye. Shadow puppetry is considered the oldest art form of puppetry in the world. It began thousands of years ago in China and India. In China, the shadow plays are often folk tales and legends of the past, many based on Chinese opera themes. Traditionally, the shadow puppets are created out of paper or leather, with areas that are punched out with sharp knives. This helps define facial features and clothing. And now it is time for you to create your own shadow puppet theater. Make sure to have fun and put on a great show for all of your friends and family. Bye!